werewolves. Oh! All right, guys. So today we're going to be talking about a new commander that's not even released yet. And I'm so excited about this guy. He's super cool. But today we're doing something different. We're doing Tovolar. Okay. Oh, by the way, please like, share, comment, subscribe if you got a minute. It really helps me out. Oh, and I need the comments so that I know how to fix things. But anyway, back to Tovolar. So Tovolar is a new guy right out of Midnight Hunt. And he's really cool. He's the 3-drop, 1 green, 1 red, 1 generic, 3/3 human werewolf. So werewolves are getting support. Finally, they are getting some loves. But I wanted to mention, though, that I am not doing an EDH rec version of Tovolar. Today, we're going out of our way to find cards that work well with Tovolar that don't necessarily get recommended on EDH rec. Most of these cards aren't there. There's a few that are, but most of them aren't. All right, let's get into it. So, Tovolar is a 1 green, 1 red, 1 generic, 3/3 human werewolf. Whenever a wolf or werewolf you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So our goal is to draw a bunch of crap. Cards. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more wolves or werewolves, it becomes night. Then transform any number of humans. Any number of human werewolves you control. Day bound. Okay. Next up, and then let's check out the other side. Tovolar, or the Midnight Scourge, is a 4/4 werewolf legendary creature rather. Whenever a wolf or werewolf you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So a green and a red. An X target wolf or werewolf you control gets plus X plus 0 until end of turn and gains trample. So what we've got here basically is a Toski, which basically is going to let us draw every time our werewolves are dealing combat damage, and it's also a little bit of a Kessig Wolf run. So we've kind of got this really, really powerful draw engine. So I'm focusing on connecting with our creatures and taking advantage of this draw. So we've got a lot of honorable mentions. Let's get into it. Okay, honorable mention number 1 is Neglected Heirloom. This is a neglected card in the werewolf build, in my opinion. It's a 1-drop, equips for 1. Equipped creature gets +1/1. When equipped creature transforms, and they're going to all the time, equipped creature gets +3/3 and has first strike. So this is good because you're just going to put it on something, and then whenever it flips, it's going to get 3/3 and first strike, and then it's going to stay that way. So it's not going to go flipping back and forth like our werewolves are. This is a really good card. It's like 20 cents. Next up, we have got Hazard's Monument and Ronus Monument. Okay, they're both 3-drops, and they both help us cast our werewolves. Okay, so Hazard's is a 3-drop that says red creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Good. Okay, cool. We're in for that. Ronus Monument is green creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever you cast a creature spell, target creature you control gets +2/2 and gains trample until end of turn. Sorry, puppies. The puppies are bargaining. All right, so both of these are going to help us cast our werewolves much cheaper and help us get further down the road. If you get more green or more red creatures in your deck and you don't want to play both of them, either one is going to do just fine. Okay, next up on our list is No Quarter and Retaliation. So we're going to make it very, very painful for them to block. So No Quarter says whenever any creature blocks or is blocked by a creature with lesser power, destroy that creature with lesser power. Our goal is to have bigger creatures. So whenever they block, good luck. Retaliation, it says whenever each creature you control gains, whenever a creature blocks it, this creature gets +1/1 until end of turn. So we're making it harder for our opponents to block us. Now, let's go ahead and try and do some unblockable stuff. These are very limited, but these do help us get through damage whenever, certain kind of conditions arrive. Magistrate's Veto is 1 red, 2 generic. White creatures and blue creatures can't block. You know how many? This is like 2/3 of the 2/5 of the color pie just can't block anymore. This is so good, but it's kind of bananas actually at the same time too. Bower Passage is another cool one that I really like in this. It says 1 green, 1 generic. Creatures with flying can't block creatures you control. Also, very cool card, especially whenever you consider that other people are going to rely on those creatures to be able to block, and suddenly they can't. Okay, some more of our blockability stuff. Familiar Ground, it says each creature you control can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. That's 1 green and 2 generic. Champion of Lamphold here is kind of my favorite, especially with this. It's an honorary werewolf. It's a double green, one generic human warrior 1/1. Creatures with power less than Champion of Lamphold's power can't block creatures you control. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on Champion of Lamphold. So I really, really like this card in this build specifically, but it's, you know, it's a sustainable way to get your damage through and draw those cards. Now, we've got some more honorable werewolves. We're going to be drawing a bunch of cards, and this is where we get into number 6 on our list is Psychosis Crawler. It's a 5-drop star horror. When Psychosis Crawler's power and toughness are each equal number of cards in your hand. Whenever you draw a card, each opponent loses 1 life. So you're going to get a beefy dude, and you're going to be just hurting them whenever they don't block. You're going to make combat very, very difficult for your opponents. I really like this guy. He's super budget. I like him. Next up, another honorable werewolf, Iron Crag Pyromancer. Now, I'm doing the honorable werewolf thing because the werewolves themselves are already listed on EDH Rec. You can go find them there. I wanted to show you stuff that's unique and useful for Tovolar. So Iron Crag Pyromancer is a 3-drop 1 red 2 generic 0/4 human wizard. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, Iron Crag Pyromancer deals 3 damage to any target. So now you just get to shoot stuff. Why not? So you're going to be shooting stuff whenever you're drawing cards, and you know, you potentially shooting a planeswalker, a player, just anything. It's really, really powerful in this build. Next up, we've got Jolrel Moan Wooly Recluse. Okay, so again, another honorary werewolf. Now, the reason why I say that is because 1 green, 1 generic human druid 1/2. You can draw your second card each turn, create a 2/2 cat. So this is just going to give us more tokens to kind of play with and give something to attack with. But until end of turn, creatures you control have base power and toughness X, where X is the number of cards in your hand. So you can pay 6 double green and 4 generic, and now you're already planning on drawing cards. This is where Jolrel really shines, is in this werewolf build, because you're going to be drawing so many cards. I really like her. I think she's awesome. Number 3 on our list is Key to the City. This card only really works in this kind of deck. It's otherwise just kind of an card. It's 2 generic. Artifact, discard a card. Up to 1 target creature can't be blocked this turn. So you can protect your commander. Make sure he gets through. Great. Whenever Key to the City becomes untapped, pay 2 generic. If you do, draw a card. If you want to get an extra card draw in there, you can. I think this fits perfectly in what we're doing, because we're going to discard those, bad draws and get a new draw off the top. And number 2, this one could arguably be number 1, and that is War Cadence. It's a red, it's 2 generic enchantment. It says 1 red and 2 generic. This turn, creatures can't block unless their controller pays X for each blocking creature he or she controls. Holy cow, they're going to suffer whenever you have War Cadence, because they just can't block anymore. They can't afford to pay for all your attacking creatures, and you're just going to hurt them a lot. I love War Cadence, and I think this is useful without any of the other cards really on our list, and it's just going to connect. You're going to get your Tovolar and all your creatures through. Also, if you don't want to go, anyway, let's keep talking. Anyway, number 1 on our list is Xenagos, God of Redibles. Okay, he got number 1 on my list, and it's because of he's a 5-drop 1 green 1 red 3 generic legendary enchantment creature, god, indestructible. As long as your devotion to red or green is less than 7, Xenagos isn't a creature. At the beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature you control gains haste and XX, where X is that creature's power. What? It's so good. So good. So whenever we have a flipped Tovolar, he's going to become an 8/8 with a haste, and he's just going to be bananas. I really, really love this. But let's talk about the infinite combo that you can put in this deck. And both of these cards go well in the deck without the infinite combo. And that is Aggravated Assault and Bear Umbra. I'm sure a lot of you know what this combo is, but let's talk about it. It's 1 red and 2 generic. Pay 2 red and 3 generic. Untap all creatures you control. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase. Play this ability only anytime you can play a sorcery. So you're going to pay the 5 mana, get another combat step, and then Bear Umbra is going to untap your lands. So Bear Umbra is a 2 green, 2 generic. Aura says enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has whenever this creature attacks, untap all lands you control, totem, armor. So in essence, you can just go infinite on them with your werewolves. Name the movie, guys. All right, this was a really quick one, down and dirty. Apologies for the ums. I love you guys. I can't wait to see you next time. Deuces. Stop barking, please. I'm recording.